finally got my dream apartment, and it's all thanks to God. So when you walk in, you have our kitchen. Go into my mom's bedroom. Incredibly spacious. So this is my room, which has like views to die for. Bookshelf, closet. This down here are my product packaging and that kind of thing. So into my bathroom. As you can tell, I'm sitting here in my luxury apartment in my master bedroom. I have the biggest windows ever. If I'm going to be 100% transparent, I didn't even think I'd be doing a video like this so soon. Everything happened so fast. To say that the things of God works like this in an instant, I mean it. A lot of my testimony that I'm going to say today happens all thanks to God, and I'm going to mention him a lot considering where I was a year ago to now. I want to tell you a little bit about my backstory, and then I'm going to give you some tips on what I think. If you guys want something like this, something similar, how to start getting on this journey of getting an apartment. And so here we go. A little over a year ago, I was working for Instacart with my mom. That was one of the many gigs that my mom and I did. My father had passed away in 2018, and so I was 13 at the time. He passed away with cancer. And so obviously it left a huge burden on both. My mom died. Mom lost her bookstore business. I had to work 3 jobs. It was a very difficult financial situation. It got to a point where I was in high school and I was graduating, where we got into Uber Eats, and then that stopped paying well. And so subsequently we started doing Instacart. And it was at that point in time where I was lost because I didn't get into any of the universities that I wanted to. Here is where God comes in. So I remember being in that situation where my mom and I, we would wait hours for orders, you know, for like $20, $30 orders, and it would take forever. And you can imagine sometimes we would come home not making anything at all. The cost of gas and car and rent and insurance and food and so many things that you can imagine. But where I was really desperate because I felt stuck. There were so many things that I had envisioned for myself. I envisioned traveling, leaving our very old, very crusty, rusty, dusty apartment that we were in. That apartment was so old and moldy. It's like every time that you went inside, you would feel disgust, and I never felt at peace there. And where I wanted to be, there was a gap because of what I was living was technically poverty in a sense. And have the luxuries that I envisioned myself having. I'm saying this to show you that everything that I prayed for and that I've ever wanted, I got. It was so bad that my mom had to get another job at like this clothing store, and I would go delivery driving, and there were just days where I would spend hours and not get anything. I remember coming to a point where I did a 21 Daniel fast. I kind of did my own version of it, but even still, I went 21 days without eating from 12 to 6. It was so difficult because I remember the hunger was so strong that I felt so physically weak that I couldn't even shop. I remember specifically asking God to take me out of that situation, to open up doors of opportunities for me. I told him exactly what I wanted. I remember that one day I was in the store where my mom was working in the clothing store. I was about to go to work to do Instacart, and all of a sudden a client, she invites us to go to the cafe next door. My mom and I, we both politely declined because we didn't have any money to go. And I was like, oh, come on guy, let's go. I'll pay, like it's on me. So my mom, she wanted to go, and I was like, you guys can go, I'll stay here, because I didn't want her to pay for all 3 of us. They both insisted very much. We went there. Owner of the cafe comes to sit at our table. My mom and her know each other. They have like a big backstory where my mom owned a cafe at one point that failed, by the way, and that cafe owner bought that cafe. And so we have like this backstory we know this owner, sits down and she starts talking. The owner, she just starts talking to my mom. She's like, I really need someone to help me start selling my products on Amazon. My mom's like, my daughter here, she sells products on Amazon. She can definitely help you. And she's like setting me up, and then I start telling her, yeah, like I can do this, this, and this, and this, and that. I know how to do Amazon. Like, I'll research everything for you. She was like, really? Seriously? And then that same day, my mom was like, oh, she really needs money to invest in her products. That same day, that cafe owner sent me $500 to invest in my products. I was like, that was the first time I had received such a large sum of money just like that out of nowhere. And that was the beginning. There's no such thing as luck. All it is preparation times opportunity. I was prepared at that time because I had that knowledge. Opportunity arose and I took it. So be the kind of person, like, you prepare yourself for these kinds of opportunities, so when that they come to you, you're ready to take it. Tip number 1, I had high income skills. It could be anything. That could be marketing, that could be technology, things like coding, just IT, how to fix things, fixing computers, fixing things. I was a graphic designer, started working with her on this project to maybe sell to supermarkets. I designed her product packaging, I did her website, and I did her marketing, and I did everything in general for her. And I earned very, very, very well. Number 1 blessing, because after that, like, I had a job that we no longer had to struggle, you know, like what I made in a month was already enough to cover all of our expenses. And so my mom felt the relief of that burden very, very quickly. Started paying all the bills, investing in my business, got an LLC, purchased my trademark, so many things. I invested in product packaging and this and this and that. It was like the number 1 blessing. I was doing delivery driving. I had no hope for a future because I could not see myself somewhere else. Like, I had no idea how I was gonna do it, to instantly already being contracted for a job that paid me super well. Things of God are instantaneous. This was an opportunity that he gave me. Back to tip number 1, learn a high income skill so that you can find something that will pay you well. Not saying that you have to get a 9 to 5, but find something that will pay you that, whether it's freelancing, whether it's business. You can get started on this journey to be able to pay for an apartment like this, to be able to pay for the things that you want to. That was in around May until the end of the year. Slowly but surely, just getting my things in check. But we still never moved out of that apartment. And I remember that apartment that we lived in for like 15 years. And every single thing that we did, that we tried, didn't work. Like, for some reason, I thought we were like, there was just something I felt was holding us back in that apartment, because no matter how many apartments, no matter how many tours, no matter how many I looked at, there was just something always went wrong. I thought I was never leaving that old apartment. This was a lot of prayer from my mom, because every single night she would grab the oil, she would anoint, and she'd be like, I prophesy in the name of Jesus that we are leaving this apartment and that you are preparing us for our new apartment. Here's another backstory. So in that period that I was still working on Instacart with my mother, I had learned about a luxury apartment lottery where you pay very, 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 very cheap on a very luxurious apartment, but it's obviously income restricted. So if you earn below a certain amount, you get inserted into this lottery. So here's the other point of when I say, oh, nothing ever worked. So I did so many lotteries, so many, more than I can count, because I really wanted to move. Like, all I wanted was to move out of the apartment that we were currently in, and I knew that we had no condition at that point. Remember, there was this one luxury apartment that I put my name in for, and I wanted it so bad, and I had heard of this testimony of this girl that went to the apartment that she really wanted, and she walked around it 7 times, like that story in the Bible where the whole army went around the wall 7 times so that it would crumble. I was like, let me invite my mom to do that. And so we went by car, we went to this apartment that I really wanted, and we went. 7 times, and all I was in prayer and constant worship songs. Like we were just in it, and I really wanted it. I was like, we're getting this apartment, and guess what? We didn't get it. Can you tell me? I was shocked. And that wasn't the only one. There were about 5 different lotteries that I applied for around there, maybe a little bit more. That's because they were like 3-month gaps that you had, like 3-month period time that you had to wait for each month. So for you to imagine like how long I had to wait for each apartment, and each time my lottery number was so high that I got, that I knew that there was no chance that I was gonna get it. And so no matter how hard I tried, no matter what I did, none of the apartments, none of them ever worked out. That was another thing that felt suffocating. No matter how much I prayed, no matter how much, like I just felt like I was going nowhere. And I was like, I'm never leaving that place. Like, what am I gonna do? Now that I'm looking back at it, those apartments were not meant for me. That's not where God wanted me to be. That's not where He meant for us to stay. Because if it was, then we would have gotten it. Take this word of advice: don't lose faith when these kinds of things happen. When you're like, I'm praying, and nothing's happening. That's because it's not meant for you. God is working. God hears your prayer. He knows what you're going to pray before you even pray them. And that's something hard that I had to learn and had to accept. Like, those were just not meant for me. And where I am now is exactly where I'm meant to be for the moment, because here I just feel so at home. This apartment has everything I've ever needed, everything that I've ever wanted, and the people here are so great. There's so many people in this apartment building that have helped us, and it's kind of like a family that we grew. Like it's an amazing experience, and this is exactly where I needed to be for the moment. I wouldn't have gotten this if I got the other apartments. That wouldn't have been so good. And so God has His reasons for everything. If I got those apartments, my mom said there are a couple of reasons. Like maybe I would have gotten lazy, because paying like $500 a month, it would have been a very easy way to live, and I wouldn't have been focused on my goals in the future, like my business. I would have been in my comfort zone. Wouldn't have taken money and that kind of thing so seriously, because I would have been like kind of like spoiled in that sense. And I do believe that she's right, because then you actually have real responsibilities in terms of money and paying the bills. It kind of gets your grind on. I believe that was the case for me. And the second reason, if I had gotten those apartments, I would have never gotten the job that I have today, because I wouldn't have needed it. The job that I have now has taught me so many things. So again, everything happens for a reason. Our life progresses the way it does for a reason, so that we can learn, grow, mature. I'm seeing God every day, how He works. He works definitely in mysterious ways, in ways that we don't understand until we get a little bit ahead in our future. You're like, wow, He was doing all this on purpose. So I don't know if I'm on tip number 3 or 4, but it's like, wait on God's timing. Because you prayed for it. The Bible says that everything that you ask for will be given to you. I'm paraphrasing here. Ask with gratitude, like be grateful, and let go, and it will be done. And believe and have faith that it will be done, because it will be done. It's kind of like my backstory. A lot of the time, I had so much doubt, and God does not work on doubt. So see, the 7 times didn't work. I did all of that for nothing. Like all of those thoughts naturally come in, and so you're like, oh, no matter how much, like nothing's happening, He's not listening, He's not even there, when that's not the case at all. I'm here, I'm telling you, from where I am right now, my apartment is beautiful. I love it so much, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm 19, I'm young, and this is something that I've always wanted. I've always envisioned this for myself, and so there is no limit for God. You can be 16, you could be 17, and have great, you can be so young or so aged, I don't want to say old, and you can still get what you've always been praying for. But God will give it to you on His terms, and what's best for you, and what's in His will for you. So just remember that there's nothing that's impossible. So if you want something like this, something similar on getting your luxury apartment, first off, give it to God. Did you pray about it? Did you ask Him for what He wants? Secondly, obviously, you have to get the logistics down. What are you doing to be able to attain this apartment because in 2025, my mom, all of a sudden, this apartment, 2 weeks later, we got it instantly. I don't even know how. I didn't have any money at the time. I wasn't technically prepared financially for such a big move. We did it anyway. Don't even ask me how I got the funds like all at once to be able to move because it's a very cost-heavy process. But yeah, that's basically what happened. During our move, God planted people to help us. People that we didn't even pay. He planted those people in our lives to help us move, to help us install things, and tell you, I don't even know where to begin. But the process was so quick that I wouldn't even be able to go in detail and tell you exactly what happened. But when I tell you that the security deposit, the rent, the lease all signed quickly, 1, 2, 3, we moved in before I could even close my eyes. During that period, I also had so many job offers. I had so many things going on for me. And now I sit here in my new apartment, have the condition to be able to pay for the apartment, to be able to do the things that I want. It has the dryer and washer that I've always wanted. It's a completely new building. I'm doing a YouTube video how I always imagined myself doing. Like I'm sitting here in front of a camera, in front of my beautiful big white light bedroom, telling you my testimony, and I always imagined that. And here I am doing it. So when I tell you that the things of God are possible, and when it's your time, it will happen fast. I hope that you took my story as an inspiration. You'll get there. We'll get there. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you haven't done. Start now. Ask God for first discernment, wisdom, and knowledge, and it will be given to you. Start working towards it. You know, there's such thing as faith, but there's also such thing as intelligent faith, right? Faith without works is also pretty much dead in a sense, because how can you have faith but not act on it? Start preparing yourself, learning high income earning skills, because God will bring you the opportunities. You just have to be prepared for them. And that will start opening doors for financial success. You will have your income and you will start earning your income to be able to afford something like this. And then God will start bringing you the opportunities, like this apartment. It will happen. You won't even see it. Start working towards that. Start praying, start working, start studying, start doing whatever you need to do. That's how this works. If that's the only advice that I could give you, prayer and action, and it will happen for you. Thank you so much. I hope that I inspired you guys to tell you that everything is possible. You can be like me. The situation that I was in before and the situation that I was in now, I can change your situation like that so quickly. Thank you guys. I love you. Stay safe. And until next Sunday, bye.